Welcome to the HS Warrior Podcast.
The opinions of the producers and guests of this podcast are not the views of our company or its subsidiaries. This podcast is intended for entertainment purposes only and are not intended for actual medical advice.
All right, guys, welcome episode number 4 of the HS Warrior Podcast. I am DJ Power Mike, aka Michael Spitzer, the host, and today I am joined by somebody who was an inspiration, a big inspiration to me. I watched her video. Actually, it was sent to me by a friend of mine that knows I have HS, and she was like, hey, look, this girl is telling people the story. You should be telling the story too. And I'm very happy to have her on the podcast. I know she is a busy person, extremely busy. Guys, let's say hi to Kira Achuleta. And Kira, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Kira. I am currently 25 years old. I live in Manteca, California, but I was born and raised in Sacramento, California. My HS diagnosis started, the symptoms started when I was 12 or 13, and I didn't get diagnosed until I was about 16. And I myself, I am very, very, I tend to look at the glass half full. There are people out there that have went decades without being diagnosed, and I just feel extremely blessed that I only, had to go 3 years, unlike people that have gone decades,
No, I mean, I didn't get diagnosed till I was in my 20s. But it started when I was 17.
Wow, yeah.
So, and it was like my late 20s. So I'm in my late 30s now. I'm starting to become an old man. I'm almost at 40. So, I'm almost there. But it's all right. Every day above ground is a good day. So you got lucky. I mean, did you go to like a research hospital or did you just luck out in an ER or when you finally found the name?
So, what happened was there was a lump under my left arm, and at first my mother and I thought it was just an ingrown hair, and how HS sometimes has the cysts that come to the surface and some that stay under the surface. Well, this one was just staying under the surface, so my mom and I are like, okay, maybe it's just an ingrown hair, swollen lymph node, whatever, that's nothing too serious to worry about. And then it started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it started draining. So I went to Mercy Medical in Sacramento, downtown Sacramento, and they took a swab. And at first they said it was staph infection, and I'm like, I don't think it's staph. Exactly.
Yeah, we know that story, yeah.
Yeah. So it all started from there, and then they sent me home with Bactrim, antibiotic Bactrim. I took that, and nothing helped. It didn't go away. I went back to the emergency room, or back to the urgent care section of Mercy San Juan, then I told them that Bactrim wasn't working, and they ended up giving me the same exact prescription and sending me on my way.
Now, so, I don't know about you. Hold on. I just want to butt in real quick because I remember those days of, it's a staph infection. Here, take some Bactrim. Come back whenever you can, whenever you feel better. God, how do I say this nicely? So, I am a stand-up comedian, so, I'm going to say some off-the-wall stuff. My penis, I used to scratch the skin off of it from the yeast infections I would get. Yeah. Did you suffer from that as well, or was that just me?
No, I did, because the antibiotics kill good and bad bacteria in your gut, and it also affects your urethra, your kidneys, your urine, everything. Yep. So, and you know the woman's system, the vaginal system, is self-cleaning, so it's not going to be able to do that if you're killing all the good bacteria.
Trust me, my like part of me is long-term antibiotics. The mix that actually works on me well is clindamycin and rifampin mixed together. I know that a lot of other people have had some good, results on that. I do too. But
Yeah,
anyway, I'm sorry to butt in. I was just like, I always wonder, am I the only one that itches like there are certain antibiotics,
yeah,
and even I know now I'm so like gut health conscious, like kombucha, live probiotics, stuff like that. Like, no, we need no. Stay away from yeast, stay away from sugar, stay away from dairy. These things are
yeah,
all gonna upset your stomach. So yeah, I always wonder. So it's nice to talk to other people that might understand just a little bit of what you're going through. So
yeah,
anyway,
yeah. No,
s-
just
s-
go in
so you,
depth about everything. You know.
yeah, no. So you go back, and they're like, "Oh yeah, here's the same prescription, same thing. Wasn't doing dick before, but
Yeah.
we're gonna go ahead and just give it to you, and yeah, good luck."
So yeah, and then they actually, I took the antibiotics again for another month or month and a half or something like that, and
Yeah,
then I went back, and this time I didn't see a dermatologist. I actually, or not my dermatologist. I did not see my primary care physician. I actually got referred to a dermatologist.
okay,
So at that point, that doctor literally came in, and because at this point it was like eating under my arm, it was full
yeah,
on just HS. It started coming to the surface, it started leaving a hole. So just one look and the doctor already knew, oh yeah, you have hidradenitis suppurativa. And when she was walking back into the room, when she said that, mind you, and I'm sitting on the medical bed, and
yeah.
she walks in, she goes, oh yeah, you have this condition called hidradenitis suppurativa. And I swear, I mind you, I'm only 16 years old at this point. I haven't even graduated high school yet, and I'm like, what is that?
A tongue twister, please. No, listen. It's bad enough that at least for me, this is a pain in the ass disease. I don't know why they gave it such a pain in the ass name to pronounce.
Right?
Like seriously, guys. But no, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I
And
remember. Like,
mhm.
go ahead. No, go ahead, go ahead.
And and the thing is like, when you hear that you have, a skin disease, or you hear that you have any kind of disease, you hear you have anything. But the
Yeah.
point is that the fact of hearing that there's no cure is just gut wrenching, you know?
So, did you also go like me? I started in with I did specialized diets. I did silver. I tried. Listen, and I'll be honest with you. I'm from Miami. I'm a Cuban. I'm part Jewish, part Cuban. I even went to the Santeros and we did the sacrificing of the chicken, smoked a cigar, and everything. Like I've tried it all. Okay, like yeah, we practice Santeria to try to get rid of it. So yeah. I'm sorry, that's just what we do,
Yeah.
But yeah, you've and I know that now, you've had it for a good while. Did
Yeah.
you try any of these crazy online things that never tend to work for anybody? And I think the people that say it work are probably full of it, or am I wrong? Or I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Okay, well, let's put it this way. In the very beginning, I did have a dermatologist diagnose me, but still, at that point, even though you know what the skin condition is, you don't know the exact triggers or causes of it,
Right. Yeah.
Um, back when I was diagnosed, I mean, it wasn't too long ago, almost 10 years ago, but, even 10 years ago, a lot of people still didn't actually know how to treat it and how to calm it down and what triggers it, and things like that.
Yeah.
So the dermatologist literally diagnosed me, and I asked her myself. I said, "Well, how did I get this skin condition?" And
Yeah.
I go, and my instant thought was, okay, I've never been. At that point, I wasn't sexually active, so it can't be
Yeah.
from that. And she goes, oh, no, 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 it's not contagious either. So when I heard that, that was still kind of a relief, okay, whatever, I can't pass it on. She goes, it's genetic. That's the only few things that she knew.
At
Diet
the
wise,
time.
at the
Yeah.
time, exactly. Diet wise, she, the dermatologist really didn't know much about it.
Yeah.
Uh, Now, I will say that the anti-inflammatory diets do help, but
Yes.
you really have to allow your body to cleanse. I would
Yes.
recommend doing a full-on body gut cleanse before you start an anti-inflammatory diet because, and then slowly ease into it because
Yeah.
you have to let your body flush out all those toxins, all the chemicals that we've been eating,
Yeah.
and you really have to allow your body to absorb all the good stuff.
So, yeah, I've been on a weight loss journey. I actually, because to get the surgery I need to be a certain BMI. And I'm not meeting my mark right now, and that's fine because HS isn't getting worse. It's not getting better right now, so I could deal with it. Uh, Something I learned because I went like 2/3 raw vegan to flush out my body and everything.
Wow.
But then I had a death in the family, and it was on the Jewish side, and those I don't know if you've ever been to a Jewish funeral.
No.
They don't send flowers. Everything is food. And then I had my grandmother giving me a
Oh,
guilt trip.
no.
What do you mean you're not gonna eat the roast beef or the turkey? You gotta eat these things. No, your uncle just died. You gotta eat these things. It's disrespectful. So you start eating the bread again, everything else, and within 2 seconds it comes back on. I
Yep.
have a friend who's a dietitian. He said cheat days are so important for your diet. It's so, especially like he even said, especially with the AIP diet, because you'll find out quickly if you're doing the AIP diet and you've done the cleanse, like you said, and then you come back, a month or two later, and all of a sudden you try something and something work, you get a flare or something. You're like, ha ha ha, ha, there goes that trigger,
Exactly.
and for some people that does happen. For some people, food isn't a trigger, and I'm like, wow, you're
Sorry.
good. No, you're good. You're good.
But
Listen,
no, see, and that's actually exactly what happened to me. I was on the anti-inflammatory diet myself, and
mm,
I was told that nightshades like bell peppers, tomatoes, eggplants, and things like that are triggers.
yeah,
And and I at first I was like, okay, I was like, I'll try it, and so after doing the anti-inflammatory diet for a while, I started doing the tomatoes, and I started cooking with bell peppers again, and I wasn't getting flares. And unfortunately, that's another con about HS. It affects everybody differently.
yes.
It's
Yes. Oh,
like it has
I
no
know.
face.
I have a good friend. He's a HS warrior brother to me. He's actually in California as well. And him and I have just hit it off. Like I call him once a week, and we chit chat like little girls. I love it. uh, no, the AIP diet almost killed him.
Wow.
Yeah, because he also has. I'm gonna mess up the world or the word. The world. Oh, you there? I'm gonna mess up the world. Diverticulitis.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that diet basically just messed with him big time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like even me going 2/3 raw vegan. So breakfast and lunch, all I did was eat fruits and vegetables, and then
Yeah.
at dinner I'd have a light meat. And then I would cook with heat, and it wouldn't be raw. My
Yeah.
iron sunk into the ground, and I know a lot of people that have HS. That iron is a big thing for us.
Yeah. And with HS too, it's um iron is a big thing, and then they tell you not to eat red meat,
Yeah,
and it's like,
exactly.
well, I don't exactly want to be on iron supplements.
Those are the worst. I,
Right?
Iron supplements are the worst. And if somebody's listening and they don't know what I'm talking about, you have never experienced the constipation till you've been on iron supplements. All right, like
Yeah.
it is the worst.
Yeah, so and then another thing is that You know, when you asked me to be on the radio station, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like a huge opportunity, you know,
Yeah.
it's a huge opportunity to be able to spread awareness, to be able to spread, you know, just I never even thought in a million years that you know that we would have the courage.
Let me tell you that your video, either one or two things are happening here. Either you really have HS and you were really putting your heart out there, which is I think that's exactly what happens, and I'll post a link to your video. That's okay with you?
Of course,
Uh, okay. Um, Either that was happening, or you have an incredible makeup artist and you deserve the best actor award. Okay, because you like I'm getting a little bit teary eyed here. Sorry, but no, you actually touched my heart because I could see it. Like I was like, yo, I've been there, and you know, this past week or 2 weeks ago was HS Awareness Month. Week, sorry.
yeah,
Uh, I made a video similar. I can't show much of where mine is. Like I can't show my ball sack and things like that. You know. But like I showed, because I do stand up comedy, so I showed this is what HS looks like on the outside, you know, but then underneath the clothes, and then I showed like my inner thighs, you know, that look like they got bombed in World War II or something, you know. So
yeah.
no, and I get it, and I think it's important because I can only imagine how many people walk around with. I walked around for a long time with shame. I remember going to the hospital a few times and then saying, "Oh, I think it's an STD." Yeah,
Exactly.
like we gotta test you for an STD. Now it's like, yeah, okay, I don't got one, but you
Well,
know,
well, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And you know, and that is actually, you know, dipping into the sex life with HS.
yeah,
You know, unfortunately, we have to go through the extra step of, hey, you're gonna see things you're gonna see bumps in my groin, you're gonna see bumps on my inner thigh, on my buttocks, you know. But I'm letting you know right now, I'm 100% clean. I just have hidradenitis suppurativa, and unfortunately, HS is not like we were talking about earlier. It's not well known like psoriasis or like eczema. So when people kind of see it, they already, oh,
yeah,
okay, yeah, yeah, she has that. You know, and
yeah.
so when other people look at HS, they're like, oh no, no, that's something, you know,
That's
completely
no,
different.
yeah,
You know,
no,
you're lying to me and whatever. And so then we have to just we really have to humble and be vulnerable. You put
yeah,
ourselves in a vulnerable state and explain ourselves, and then we have to face the cruelness of
hmm,
people and
yeah,
say, "Oh yeah, I don't want to mess with you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't even want to be associated with you. I don't even want to be seen out in public with you."
yeah, yeah.
You
No,
know?
no, no, no. I trust me. I've been there, done that, where people are like, "Yo, that's disgusting, bro. How can you walk around like that?" And like, yo, you know, I've now I will admit I have shown my ass to people that don't get why, you know, I'm not up for. Yeah, okay, I would love to take a long car ride, you know, and go here, go there, but car rides are no fun to someone who has their entire left butt cheek is just one huge abscess, you know. For
Yeah.
me, it's not fun. Uh, Now I don't know. Have you ever heard of Hope for HS Foundation or no?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Have you ever been to one of their support groups or
No, not yet. No.
so I learned this at one of their support groups. They rock. Like Hope for HS rocks. My doctor's a part of it. My dermatologist, everything here in Miami. Uh and whenever it comes down to the sex, a few things. First and foremost, I think you gotta dip your toe in whenever you're in the dating scene. You have to kind of dip in your toe first before you just jump in, you know? Because you never know. There are people out there that can't even stand the sight of their own blood. And you already know right then and there, yo, as
Yeah.
attractive as this person is, I don't think this is gonna work. But still, you should try. You know, you should always try. The next thing is mapping your own body. So you have green light areas, yellow light areas, and red light areas. obviously it's like, like whenever you're at a traffic stop, the green light means go. Yeah, we can openly talk about this. Yellow light is like, I really have to trust you for this. And red light is like, nope, not whatsoever.
Yeah,
Um,
not at all.
yeah, not like that is not gonna happen whatsoever. And you have to be honest. And sex with HS, I'm a part of a lot of the support groups on Facebook, things like that. And sex is definitely probably one of the most talked about subjects around HS. I can
Yeah.
definitely attest to that, and so can you. I mean, we talked a little bit before, and we were like, "Yo, let's touch on that inside here." So, you know,
Yeah, I feel like uh, people are not only afraid, people are already afraid to come out about this condition.
of course,
And I can imagine how terrified they are because talking about sexual activity in general is a vulnerable conversation as it is.
yeah,
But then now you're talking about being sexually active with a severe skin condition. Not only does it cause embarrassment, but it also causes excruciating pain at some points. So even though you're extremely, wanting it and you're desiring it, your body is literally not allowing you to because you're in so much pain.
no, absolutely. And something else that I try to preach, and God, I'm trying to think of a nice way to say this, but I always preach it, and it's always like, hey, your partner, if you're in a relationship with your partner has needs too. It doesn't mean that you have to have sex. There's other things you could do to get that person off, and it doesn't mean that the both of you have to get off. And I cannot stress that enough. Like, there's toys, there's all different types of things. You can get creative, and you always have to come to it with an open mind.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can agree with that.
Oh yeah. And then that's another huge thing is I anybody you
Yeah,
have to 100%. I mean, whether you have HS or not, you have to 100% trust that person with your body. And just
of
like you said,
course.
you have to map out your body and you have to explain that map, to find the treasure
Yeah,
to
yeah,
your
no,
partner,
absolutely, yeah. Yeah, no. Listen, I'm all for it because communication is a key to any relationship, whether it's a business relationship, friendship, personal whatever it is, any type of relationship. Communication is a key. Don't expect a person to read your mind.
Exactly.
Like, and
Yeah.
always, and like I tell people, always be forgiving. Remember that somebody is human. You do not know how many people are like, oh, how can you be so forgiving? I'm like, because I've had bad days where I'm in pain, and I could be a brat to say the least. Where I'm like, I just
Yeah.
don't want to talk to anybody. Like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, go fuck off
Yeah.
in that direction. And I'm sure you've been there. I mean, everyone's been there. So I'm always quick to forgive. That's
Yeah.
maybe, and then also like I make fun of everything. Nothing is sacred with me. Nothing is sacred with me. I literally make fun of everything. For my surgery, I'm supposed to be getting a colostomy bag. And the first thing I told the doctor that's performing the colostomy bag, he's like, "Oh, are you gonna be okay with this?" I'm like, "I wish we could have done this in 2020 during the great toilet paper shortage." Like that would have been a lot quicker, a lot easier for me. So
But
yeah.
I was spending so much money on toilet paper. Just got to buy the bags.
Oh,
That's all you got to do. And
well,
I'm
no,
pretty sure insurance covers that, not the toilet
insurance.
paper though.
Exactly. But insurance will cover it. Ya pa carajo, bro. We're out of here. you know. So yeah. Oh
Oh
yeah.
man. Yeah, and and referring back to people just being so afraid to come out, that is what HS warriors need. We need
Yes.
to
Yes.
come out. We need to shine. We need to, because this is how I look at it. I
Mhm.
know all HS warriors. If you're hiding in the light in the dark, you need to come to the light, because I'll tell you this much. I know you're tired of being alone. I know you're tired of being afraid, and I know you're
Yep.
tired of feeling like you have nobody to talk to, especially the dermatologist. You like HS warriors, you are not alone at all. You
And
know?
and also I'm gonna say it now. And back to the beginning of our podcast here, back in the beginning, 10 years ago, there wasn't a whole lot known. I got news for you. They are teaching it now to medical students. My last episode was a medical student who I met, and her and I had a good rapport with each other. And she knows all about HS. 10 years ago, people didn't know about it. And I'm starting to see more and more people talk about it and things like that. And definitely, the only way we're ever going to break the stigma around it is by talking about it, bringing it to the light. And you, like I said, I know you put your heart out there. If not, my God, you deserve an Oscar. I don't know what type of award from Hollywood you would deserve it. Like you are definitely an inspiration. You know, and yeah, you are absolutely 100% correct. More people need to talk about it. More people need to tell their employer, yo, I got this disease. I might not be able to make it into work this day because I'm having a flare, or this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And they're gonna have to understand.
Yeah.
So
And when you and let's put it this way, when you actually start talking about something, I mean, that's how everything starts. It
Yeah.
starts with this one person, and then it is literally a domino effect.
No, yeah.
And one person comes and another person comes. It was a whole year. I made the TikTok page, and
Yeah.
in my bio it literally said I created this page to spread awareness about HS, right?
Yes. Yes.
And then, but it took me a whole year to gather the courage to actually just freaking do it. And then
I,
when I did it, and
yeah.
this, I didn't even expect, the video to get 10 views. I didn't even expect it to get, the
Yeah.
point is as soon as I started filming, I broke down because I never thought that, that would come into me. And I never thought that I would be in front of a camera and posting it on social media. But I am so thankful and I am so glad that I did because, and her name is Cindy Parr.
Okay.
And she's the one that really, I contacted her because she was doing the bleach bath on her TikTok page, and
Okay.
I contacted her. I said, hey, does this really work? Because I've heard of it before. I've heard of it. I just never done it. I'm scared it's gonna get in my private area and burn like crazy. I'm
It
like,
doesn't.
what?
It
What's
doesn't.
going on here? And then she
Yeah.
told me, she's like, no, it doesn't burn.
Yeah.
You just gotta put a little bit in and you'll be cool. And I was like,
Yeah.
and then I started talking to her about making videos. She's like, you should do it. Just do it. And hearing that from another HS warrior to another, from one
Yeah.
HS warrior to another, it was just the green light I needed because
Yeah.
it's like, okay, you're not just a normal quote unquote person telling me that I should do it when that normal person had no idea or has no idea how hard it is. But a
Yeah.
person with HS obviously does know how hard it is. You're telling me to do it, I'm gonna do it.
Wow.
And I don't
Listen,
regret it
listen,
at all.
Really quick, I've been hydrating really well. I gotta take a bathroom break.
All
So
right.
I'll be right back. All right, hold on 2 seconds. All right, guys, we are back from our bathroom break, and what a great bathroom break it was. Before we had to go to the bathroom break, really quick, we were talking about advocating and spreading the word about HS, the purple pride, as I love to call it. Yeah. There's all different types of ways. You don't have to just show off your HS. Don't get me wrong. It's
Yeah.
important so people knows what it looks like, but something as a purple pin, I actually wear it 24/7 on my sleeve. I have a HS Warrior tattoo. Yeah, there's different ways, but absolutely is getting out there and talking about it. I mean, that's the only way we're ever going to break the stigma and get everyone out there talking about it. And don't get me wrong, you weren't the only video. And like you said, like you were saying, it took almost a year for you to pull the trigger on making
Yeah.
that video. I was walking. I need to start again, but it's been raining too much here in Miami to walk at night. I was walking and like I just kept on thinking, why am I not doing this? Why am I not talking to people about this? And I'll tell you your video, the Hope for HS, and my doctor is a research doctor for HS. So
Oh.
he has me come in and talk to people that might be throwing money at HS. So I get to sit there and talk to them as a patient and be like, why is this important to look into? Well, number one third of the population suffers from it and doesn't even know it.
Yeah.
We'll start off there. And, and I always try to make jokes about it and stuff like that. I've even gotten thank you letters from these people. So, and it really started with that. And then once I saw your video, I'm like, yo, if she's got the balls to put her heart out there, I should definitely have the balls to put my heart out there as well. And
Yeah.
I do. I talk about things that a doctor couldn't talk about. And I did my research because I was looking for other podcasts that focused around HS awareness and around the patient side. I found
Yeah.
a lot that were the doctors talking about it, and that's all fine and dandy. I'm glad that there's a bunch of that out there, but I think sometimes we all need to hear, hey, you're not alone. It's not
Real
your fault.
stories, real experiences.
Exactly. It's not your fault. This really happens to everybody. You're not alone. Some of us are worse than the others. Some of us are better than the others. Like my sister suffers from HS.
Oh, so it's in your genetics for sure. Like
Exactly.
as in like it doesn't go back generations. Like it's in your current generation now.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
And she didn't know what it was. She thought it was like a bad ingrown hair or something like that. And I was like, sweetie, yo, let me tell you about hidradenitis suppurativa. She was like, what? Like we all were. And she ended up going to so she actually got diagnosed pretty quickly because, her older brother, was going through
Yeah.
it basically. So yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's amazing. I love hearing things like that. I'm pretty sure all HS warriors do because of the fact that so many of us are not blessed to have other family members. There are so many of us that HS goes back maybe 2 or 3 generations, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, I don't know either side of my grandfather's side, so I don't know
Yeah.
my dad's side, and I don't know my mom's dad's side. So it's like there are so many generations that I have no clue about. But I know for sure that my grandmother, both of my grandmothers, both of my great grandmothers, and both of my great great grandmothers, they didn't have it.
Okay.
So
So I know it has to be because me and my sister have different moms. So it has to be from my dad's side, that we have it. On my mom's side, it's never been heard of. And unfortunately, if it was on my dad's side, I don't think it was ever talked about. But my dad doesn't have it. His brother didn't have it. My grandmother still doesn't grasp the concept. She's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Is it contagious?" I'm like, "No." Is it? And it's so hard, trying to teach an old dog new tricks.
yeah, right.
I know that's horrible, especially that every now and then my aunt lets her listen to the podcast. So maybe I should tell her not to listen to this one. But yeah, no, she doesn't grasp it 100%. She thinks, oh, just take some medicine, it'll make it all better. I'm like, okay, well, I'm taking medicine that doesn't make me all better. I'm taking
There's no
Remicade.
cure. There's no cure.
Yeah, no, exactly. She's like, is it like cancer? I'm like, well, yes, but no.
Well,
You know?
cancer you can cure with radiation eventually. Eventually it can go away. And that's kind of what I said too. It's like it's kind of it's like okay, you hear that you have cancer, but you know that you know for sure, since there's been so much studies already on cancer, that you can go through radiation, you can take certain medicine and medications that you know for sure there is a chance that you will heal from it.
But how do you stop the inflammation? You attack the immune system, which is why there's Humira and all that fun stuff that people are like, oh, and I'm like, you haven't like I've been on Humira and it worked great for about 2 years, and then it stopped working, which was so great.
Yeah, I remember us talking about that through the messages.
Yeah.
We were both on Humira for a while, and I was seeing results, and then I unfortunately had to stop because my insurance changed, and when my insurance changed, it was no longer covering Humira. So, I changed counties, so it was different. So they were no longer covering Humira, and then when I stopped Humira, it just came back with a vengeance, and that is actually when I did become bedridden. I became bedridden at like 19, I think, 19 to 20, about 10 months or so. And like it was so bad. I mean, I sent you pictures of it. You could literally see the waist muscle underneath my skin. That is how bad it was. And at that time, like I stated before, there wasn't a lot of research on it, so I wasn't aware that smoking cigarettes could make it worse. And that is when I started getting the scarring on my face, or that's when I started getting the cyst and the boils and everything on my face, and then eventually ended up healing, and then it led to scars.
So, I don't mean to pry, but because I used to be a cigarette smoker too, did you finally quit smoking cigarettes, or are you still smoking? I mean, I don't care either way. You live your own life.
No, I stopped. I did stop 100%, and then so I think a mixture of not only smoking cigarettes, but also smoking cigarettes and taking Humira at the same time, and then suddenly stopping Humira, and then the cigarette and all the toxins and everything were still in my blood. So I feel that that's exactly what caused it to just go berserk. I mean, a lot of
nicotine addiction. Really quick, did they have to put you on any medication after you reached your 90 days nicotine free?
So I never went on. I've never had any kind of medication to help with any kind of withdrawals or anything. I mean, I just went completely cold turkey.
You're a G. You're a G, my friend. You're a gangster.
I completely stopped. Well, there was one time where I did go back for like 2 weeks, and then after that, it was completely cold turkey. Like, and then after that is when I started becoming bedridden and everything, and I feel like I said, I was in bed, and a lot of HS warriors can 100% feel this. Every single time I lifted up my arm, that hole just stretched, and that skin, skin of the hole is so thin and so fragile. It's like it's ripping and it tears, and it just gets worse. So I couldn't brush out my hair, and eventually my hair came. My hair used to be longer than what it is now. It used to be all the way down my back before I, was bedridden. So it was a huge gnat in the back of my head, just a huge nest, and it literally, my hair went from extremely long to a pixie cut just within one night. And I remember. Huh?
You got sick of it and decided to pull like a Britney Spears?
No, I couldn't get the tangles out. I couldn't get the nest out. And I remember, I wish my mom was here with me. I remember my mom I was just sitting there bawling my eyes out. She goes, "Here, it's just hair." She goes, I go, "No, Mom, it's not just hair. This is the only thing I'm confident in now. This is the only thing I have left that I'm confident in myself." And she just started breaking down, and she just held me, and Another thing I would like to shine light on is HS not only causes physical pain, it causes a lot of emotional pain and
Yes.
trauma, depression,
Yes.
anxiety. I mean, you can
Yes.
even get BPD,
Social is
bipolar disorder.
social isolation.
Yeah, social isolation. You can literally lose your mind because of this.
Oh,
You know,
I
because
know.
of the simple fact that as soon as someone sees something wrong with you, they judge you instantly. And they're like, "Oh, I don't want to associate with you because you're not like everybody else. You don't look like everybody else." You know? And what makes having HS on the face a lot harder is that if I only had it on my body, I would be able to hide
Hide
it
it.
better.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but since I had active HS, with pus and everything coming out on my face, I did not want to go outside for obvious reasons. I was stuck
Yeah.
in a little room for 10 months. And, it was just,
You are a strong. I'm telling you right now, you are a strong warrior because a lot of people might have taken other actions that I don't ever want anyone to think that they have to take. Like, I give out my phone number to just about anybody. It's easy. I make myself very readily available. I've talked to other warriors. I've talked them off that cliff,
yep,
and I know about that. I promised myself I would never talk about this on the podcast, but I want to talk. You brought it up, so I kind of want to talk about it. Uh, I have a hypothesis, and I come to everything with a scientific mind. Uh, I'm when I say maps, I gotta look up what it is. I'm not talking about people that are pedophiles. Just to let you know. So when I say no, because I learned that there were two different maps, and it's hold on. I know it's a multiple disciplinary actions for psychedelic search. So they're in their third clinical trials. What they're doing with patients with like soldiers with PTSD, social isolation and stuff is amazing with MDMA. And if you're not familiar with MDMA,
yeah,
it's ecstasy. It's ecstasy is what it is.
yeah,
And they're in their third clinical trial of using it for that. I've reached out to MAPS, and maybe by saying it here, people will start writing even more letters because I've been
yep,
writing letters. Uh, I would like to see it happen for HS Warriors because I think we deserve that mental break. And it other people that have gone through it, for other things that HS can cause, it's been almost like an alt control delete for them, if that makes
yeah,
any sense.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, I know I spoke maybe a little bit of '90s computer terms here, but it's a rewiring of the brain so that you're not depressed, and I feel it 100%. I've shared this hypothesis with other people, and they've been like, "You actually have facts behind it, so you're not just a guy in a tie dye shirt trying to give everybody ecstasy." I'm like, "No, I don't want to give everybody ecstasy, but I could see, that an HS warrior patient suffering from social isolation might, do good by thinking, that it feels good to be associated with people."
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Y-
And that's another thing that it's like they sit here and they try to shove all of these medications down our throat, the pain
Yeah.
relievers down our throat, just to ruin our kidneys, and then put us on more medication after that. And it's just like, stop, enough. There are so many natural remedies, so many mental natural remedies,
Yeah.
and it's just like we don't need the pharmaceuticals anymore. Enough with it. If anything, in the long run, it's just making not only our skin but our
Mhm.
gut and our organs just worse, just
Well, I
so
mean,
much worse.
you're in California, so there's a movement that I'm way behind in California called Decriminalize Nature. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
No, no.
Oh, okay. So people are gonna now see the lunatic I am. So psilocybin, peyote, cannabis, all these things, they want to decriminalize it, and it makes sense because, like you're saying, these are natural remedies. For me, cannabis doesn't work. And I know I've
Yeah,
told you that. And people are like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, it actually intensifies my pain." But I know other people that use it because it does work on them, you know.
Yeah.
And I actually use something else, kratom, and it helps with my pain, you know. And it's a natural leaf. It's like you said, something natural. I
Yeah.
believe in trying everything natural first, and then when the natural stuff isn't working, okay, then let's pull out the atomic bomb with the pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, that's the way I've always looked at it.
And
And
they go ahead. Sorry.
and I always tell people, come to it with an open mind, but always question. Always have questions. You should always have questions for your doctors. And I can respect that the doctor's time is precious and he might have 20 other patients that day, but try to at least ask one question while you're there. You
Yeah.
know?
And especially if but the thing is if you're a dermatologist, and this is actually, if any dermatologists are listening to this, take time with HS warriors, and I'm going to say it because there's still so much people don't know about, and there's still so many dermatologists that are not educated on it. So if dermatologists actually come out and start speaking about it themselves,
Yes.
just like more doctors, more dermatologists, more plastic surgeons, more and more and more, and it's like it's not only coming from the patients, but it's coming from the
Yeah.
doctors as well.
No, absolutely. Listen, and like I'm lucky enough to where my dermatologist is a research doctor on Hydronedia suppurativa. If anyone, and I always tell people, look up the HS Foundation website, and I will definitely put a link in the bio here. The HS Foundation website has clinics that specialize just in HS. Unfortunately, you see the East Coast is all purple and the West Coast is all purple, and some of the South is purple. In the middle, it's white, which means there is nothing there. And I feel for those people, because what are you gonna do? Pick up and move completely? Especially to a place like Florida where you got to battle gators coming in through the doggy door and hurricanes and stuff like that, or you're gonna move to California where there's a whole bunch of taxes, fires all the time, friggin' and 10 cents per plastic bag. It drives me crazy.
It's like you can't win, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like either way, you're just gonna get it, or you're gonna go to Texas, where I mean, don't get me wrong, Texas looks good, but I'm so far away from the ocean. I'm like, no, I can't do that.
But yeah, Texas is good, but it's hot and humid. Last thing that HS Warriors need.
Do you know where I am? I am
Yeah, I
way
know. That's
below.
what I'm saying. Like, you're
I'm
crazy. But at
I'm
least you're
way
next
below.
to the ocean.
Let me tell you, salt water, not the beach, salt water does wonders. It does. Like, I will get on the boat and my friends' boats and stuff, because a friend with a boat is a friend indeed. You just give them some gas money, and you get out into the water in the ocean. It does wonders for my HS. But yeah, the humidity down here. That's why listen. It's been raining nonstop during the summer. Every day at 3 o'clock, it rains here. Like so at night, it's like 95 degrees with 75% humidity. Yo, I I stick to myself, and not because of my drainage. Like I've stuck to myself because of my drainage, but no, it's like powders and things like that. Staying cool, AC is a necessity. But yeah, I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
it.
And another reason why that the salt water also helps is because it has so many natural minerals in it as well.
Absolutely, yeah,
And that's what the body needs to function properly, to heal
yeah.
properly. And
But
it's just like all this the what is it called, the Celtic salt. I'm really trying to get, it's a CELTIC, Celtic salt, and you
never heard
just
of it.
take a
I know
little
about
grain of
Himalayan
it,
salt.
and
Yeah.
it's kind of like sea salt, but it's like you just take a grain of it and you put it on your tongue or under your tongue, and you drink water with it. It has about 82 minerals of 92 minerals of sea salt.
Wow.
And it's just amazing.
Well,
I haven't tried it myself, but I've heard really, really, really good things about it.
I have a friend who she doesn't have HS, but she has other physical issues. Anyway, she was having issues with deodorant, and my buddy, who owns the HS soap company, Pedro Romero, over there in on the West Coast, he was advertising this type of salt bar, and I bought it for her, and it's changed her life. Like, she was afraid to use it. I was like, listen, I'll spend the $10. If you lose if I lose the $10, I don't care. It was a gift anyway. It was for your birthday. I know who gets a deodorant for their friends for their birthday. I do, you know. But she says it's done wonders, you know. So she's gonna continue buying from him. So you know, yeah.
That's the minerals and everything that's helping your skin heal. You know, and you know, I don't use any oral antibiotics, but I do use topical clindamycin phosphate gel, the 1%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use the gel. I do use the gel, and I use my Magic Healer as well. So, you know, I seen, like I said, I seen Cindy Parr using that, and it was crazy actually. The creator of my Magic Healer contacted me and sent me a package, and I was just like, wait, hold on, what?
What? Yeah. Like, you're gonna send me a package like that? I mean,
yeah, I was like, are you sure? I asked her, I was like, you know, are you sure? She goes, yeah, and I was like, is this legit?
well, no, and that's also a good question, because do you not know how many times I've wanted to strangle people? Oh, have you ever heard about this shake or that shake? And it's always a multi-level marketing. You know which ones I'm talking about, because I'm sure you've heard about them. Oh, it helps your immune system. So my quickest thing, my newest reaction is, what do you have to kill my immune system? And then they leave me alone, because there is nothing that they could think of to do it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, I know I gotta kill my immune system. What can you do for that? Is there a tea? What is it? You know what? Let me not even say the brand names, because with my luck, I'll end up getting sued over it. I mean, there's not much that they could take from me, but still, you know, yeah. I don't feel like getting sued by something life. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, that's another thing that, you know, we should probably talk about is your HS can get so bad that you become disabled and you are living on Social Security. I did too, man. I did too. So I feel you. Honestly, I do. And, you know, my HS is still very, very bad, but it's nothing compared. I wouldn't say very, very bad. There's a lot of scar tissue that you know, that all HS warriors know, that gets re-inflamed over and over again, so it becomes cysts. But the pictures that I sent you compared to my videos now is nothing compared to what it used to be. So I am able to work. I am in excruciating pain when I come home at night. But I'm sorry, it's Social Security just doesn't pay enough to pay all my bills. You know, I got
it doesn't.
Car insurance, phone bill, rent. You know.
Oh, trust me, I trust me. I get it. Like, you know, I'm on disability for it. My problem is, I'm good for a few days, and then I'll push it, and then I'm in bed for a few weeks.
Yeah.
You know, and like I gotta tell you, when I had to apply for disability, I cried. But my wife and my doctor were like, "Yo, are you crazy? Your scrotum is inflamed, like, you know, in your perineum area, which is a nice word for taint, is like inflamed." You know, somebody posted today, you know, oh, I hate it whenever, you know, I go to the bathroom and I don't know if it's one of my HS wounds that opened up or if I'm on my period. I'm like, well, I definitely know I'm not on my period, but I understand. You know? Like, yeah, you see, that's the thing. I always try to joke, you know, I'm always going to try to make fun of it because, yo, we got to laugh at this. Like, honestly.
Yeah, you can't let it get you down. I mean,
I understand how it does. Trust me.
Yeah.
Hey, I've cried. I've been down. I've been depressed. I had a dog show up at my house. That made a big time life difference. You know, now I have a 130-pound dog in my life. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, you always have, like, no matter, life is, I'm going to say this much, life is a bitch, you know? And it's going to throw you the craziest curveballs ever. It doesn't matter whether it's HS or not. It is going to throw you the craziest stuff possible. You just literally, let it get you down for a while. Feel that emotion, feel that pain, learn from it, experience from it, see what you can do
Yes.
differently,
Yes.
and then just move on. You have
Yes.
to, especially if it's something that you can't help. You didn't do anything wrong, like HS, for example. You can't help that you got HS. You can't help that you got diagnosed. You have to take it for what it is, and
Yeah.
figure out what you can do different. Like, as in, you learn your trigger foods. You
Right.
learn that dairy is not okay. Cigarettes is not okay. Refined sugars is not. You learn
Ooh,
that stuff.
that's the worst.
You have exactly. You have to go through
I'm not.
trial and error.
I'm not trying to get. What is it? I'm not trying to get religious. But I've had some things happen in my life where I learned the Serenity Prayer. I don't know if you ever heard it.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, I honestly think it's a great prayer, even if you don't believe in God, whatever. The mentality behind it, the wisdom to know the difference, and I had to look it up because, of accepting the hardship, the path. Okay, the wisdom to know the things I can change and the things I can't, and being able to do something about it. That is everything,
yeah.
everything to an HS warrior. I mean, because you're right. I cannot change my HS. Now, do I know that there are certain things I shouldn't be sweating? I shouldn't be doing this, that, or the other. You're absolutely right. I know what I can and can't do. So it's definitely important.
But now,
I
now
th-
you're a lot more mentally aware, not only
mhm.
of your condition but of yourself, of
Yes,
who you are now and who you have to be now in order to be comfortable now.
absolutely. Yeah. Well, not even comfortable. It's just no. And this is something else I had to learn. And it was difficult for me because I was always the yes guy. Yo, come on, let's go do this. Oh, yeah, let's go. I had to
Yeah.
learn to say no. No, and I had to and I had people that did not respect it. They were like, "No, no, no, we listen. My
You're
wife and
being
mother,
antisocial. You need to get out
yeah,
more.
yeah, exactly. My wife
Yeah.
and mother are taking off to Alaska, for a week. Do I want to go to Alaska? Absolutely. Do I want to sit on a plane for that long? Absolutely not.
Exactly.
So
People
yeah,
don't understand the physical care that comes with HS. You can't. I have a flare up now. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but the cyst that's right on your tailbone area.
pilonidal,
Yeah, there you
pilonidal.
go. So
Yeah, I've
I
had that
have
removed.
that one, and it's not
Yeah,
directly on my tailbone. It's like just like a little further down, but I know that's what it is. And
yeah,
so I was at the nail salon yesterday, and I'm
yeah.
sitting there, and I'm like, oh, I'll readjust
Leaning.
myself
Yeah,
and leaning. Well, I gotta lean this way because it's on this side, but it's on my right side. So I was like, she's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, I wanted to say so bad, yeah, I have fucking HS and I'm very uncomfortable right now, but you can't
yeah.
tell people that because they don't know what it is. But
Well,
if you say, oh, I have eczema and I have a really bad spot right now, they would say, oh, yeah,
yeah,
okay, understandable. But you can't just say, oh, yeah,
yeah.
I have HS.
Well, I'm a bad person sometimes. I'm good most of the times. Sometimes I'm bad. I remember one time I was walking with like a funny limp, cause right there in the upper inner thigh, I had a beautiful one that hadn't popped yet. So I'm walking like really funny.
Oh,
Yeah, and somebody asked me what was wrong with me. I said just got done fucking your mother, bro. How about that? And then walked away from him. I'm crazy like that. So yeah, these are the type of things that I told you I'm a
well,
bad
and then
person.
like, I understand because I am
Yeah,
not the nicest person myself when I'm in extreme pain. You know,
yeah.
so I completely understand. All HS warriors, we all understand. Especially when you're just trying to be normal or comfortable in your
Just when
own
you
skin.
all you're trying to do is, and this is the days before Instacart, whenever you're just trying to get some stuff to make some soup, and you're walking to your car, from the grocery store, and some asshole that you've seen a million times Oh, why are you walking funny today? I just got done fucking your mother. Just leave him there with his jaw dropped. That 60-year-old man didn't like that much.
But see that it's like, why are you so worried about the way that I'm walking?
Eh,
You know,
sometimes people like to worry. Yeah, I get it. And sometimes it's nice, you know? Sometimes I gotta realize, too, some people are trying to be nice. I try to be nice.
no, I
check up.
completely understand that. I get questions about my scars all the time. You know, hey, what
Yeah.
happened? Oh, you, especially if like, uh, you can, especially if you constantly hear it all the time and you constantly get asked about it, you can hear the difference if they're truly, genuinely asking because
Concerned.
they're concerned, or if they're asking because they're trying to be judgmental against you.
Well, fuck them if they are, right?
Exactly. And you know, if
Yeah.
there's any HS warriors out there that also have HS on your face and obviously you can't hide it, I'm going to tell you this much. That is another reason why, you know, I went to drinking and I went to, it was just a very bad, hard road.
Oh my
that
god, alcohol is such a bad trigger. Don't do it.
I know now,
Yeah.
you know, but
Yeah.
it was just, I was suffering so much mentally and emotionally because of what other people thought about me that I had to hide myself away. And then I literally, people ask me all the time, how do you have the courage to go out? And they're not being judgmental. They're literally asking, how do you get the courage to go out? And that's exactly what I told them. Fuck what people think. Forget it.
Yes.
Live your life, man, because at the end of the day, they don't know what you are going through. They don't know how you got your scars. They don't know what it's like to live in the HS Warrior shoes. You know, and I have an amazing story to share really quick too.
All right.
I'm a caregiver, so I work in people's homes. And I was at one of my clients' house, and I was talking to his daughter, and his daughter told me that she just lost her daughter, and how she lost her son, and how she lost her mom, and now she's losing her dad, and it's just like, oh my gosh. So then she started telling me how her stepson but son passed away. He drank himself to death, she said, because he had a chronic skin disease. And I'm like, hold on. What?
Bing,
She
bing,
goes,
bing, bing, bing.
yeah, exactly. She goes, oh my God, I can't remember what it's called. It's a long word, and it's crazy. And she goes, it caused cysts under the skin. I was like, at this time, she did not know that I had HS because I don't open up to about it, especially at work, you know?
Yeah, of
But
course.
then she started telling me, and I go, HS? She goes, yeah. I go, hidradenitis suppurativa. She goes, yes.
Mhm.
And she just, we clicked like that, you know, and
Awesome. I love it.
yeah, and it's like, what
Yeah. I
in
mean,
the actual, like, your son literally sent me here.
wait. Time out. Let me reverse just 2 seconds. I don't like that the son died. I
Well,
love
yeah.
though. I love the fact that she was able to find comfort and finding, and you too, you as well, because you're a testimony to that. And I know I gotta get wrapping up here. But really quick, I want to say thank you for shining. Thank you, because you caused a domino effect. You know, this podcast is still brand new. You know, so I'm still putting it out there, but I'm not giving up on it. You know, and I want to say thank you for shining. Hopefully, I know you're a busy person. I get that. Hopefully, you could come back on, because
Oh, yeah.
I love having conversations with you. I'm sorry you're not my new best friend. Yeah.
But you know, and what was even more emotional about that was that she asked me, can I hug you like I would have hugged my son for the last time?
Oh my.
And she held me so hard, and she started bawling into my shoulder, and I started crying, and it was just like, I was like a moment, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we're not alone. And I know that HS Warriors are not alone because of the social media outlet, but just to meet a social media, I mean, a HS warrior, that know or not, she's not a HS warrior, but
But
someone that
she's an
knows
ally.
about it.
She's an ally. Yeah, she's an ally.
Exactly. She knows about it and she
Yeah,
knows what people go through with it. It
yeah.
was just like, oh my God, are you real? You know?
I mean, bro, I'm trying to be the manly man and hold back some tears. You know, the machismo. That's a Cuban in me. That is a great story, man. I'm glad you guys had a good. She probably needed that good cry and that good hug.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah.
know.
And that's the thing about spreading awareness. We both needed it.
Yeah,
And she literally said, she goes, if you're ever in pain while you're helping my dad or whatever, and if you're ever in too much pain that you can't work, you ever need to turn on the AC, you go right on ahead. I don't care if it's still 60 degrees outside. You turn on the AC and whatnot.
yeah.
But she also told me that when she seen her son in the casket, that the HS literally just took over his body. It was coming from the inside out. It literally, even though his immune
I
system, even though he was,
yeah,
yeah, it was
yeah.
just like, it was still present.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Trust me. I know that feeling where it feels like it's taking over. You're like, no, not you, not today. Fuck you. I'm gonna take over. you know,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna work through it. All right. Anything that you want to plug other than your social media, which I'm gonna put in the description. If you want to tell people how to follow you, what your Instagram handle is, what your TikTok handle is, whatever you want to plug, you let me know. Any nonprofits you want to plug, just let me know. You say them. This is your
Um,
moment.
yeah, let me go ahead and, you have my Instagram, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so the Instagram, you don't have my TikTok, huh?
Yeah, I follow you on TikTok.
Okay, you have that one.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have an email
Okay.
if
It's not
people
me.
want to do.
It's not me. I didn't send you an email.
No, 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 no. I have a HS Warrior email.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah.
Um,
What is it?
so it's h dot s dot awareness 22 at Gmail.
All right. That is awesome. That is awesome. And yeah. So this podcast will be released this Saturday. Just let you know. You know, if you want to tell people about it, awesome. Uh, thank you from the bottom of my heart because I could sit here and talk all day about it by myself. It's so much better with somebody else.